Welcome back to Vic's House of Rock for another interesting conversation with Dimalanta.
Yes, hello everybody. Okay, so this is our second episode.
Yes.
You just got back from vacation.
I did. I was traveling in Europe.
Yes.
I'm having a wonderful time. Doing a little bit of business and having a little bit of fun as well.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about Slovakia and what you did there and...
Well, I will tell you a little bit about the trip, but most importantly, as it pertains to Vic's House of Rock, I'm going to also tell you a little bit about the music. Slovakia, a small country in the middle of Europe, actually used to be part of Czechoslovakia, surrounded by several other countries, 5 to be exact. They're a very, very small country, and they have an incredible infrastructure, which I was very surprised about. They also have an incredible spas throughout the entire country, and they also have incredible castles and landscape. So it's definitely a place which we will talk about more in another episode and talk about some of the other things that we did there and some of the things we discovered and all of the other pieces. However, one of the things that struck me the most interesting was everywhere I went, because drove all over the place, stayed at different spas, stayed at different hotels, all of these things, was the music. The music in Slovakia, which their language is Slovak, was all American music.
What kind of artists were they listening to?
So they were listening to everything from Aerosmith to, I'm going to say it was probably more like 80s rock. One of the gentlemen that we met with, which was a manager of one of the spas, Aphrodite Spa, and we were talking and we got to know each other a little bit, and we then talked about music, and he's like, oh yeah, Van Halen, that's my favorite group. Okay. So.
That's really interesting. You wouldn't think that. And it's so funny because we were in the car one day, this was before his trip, and you were listening to Slovakian music, trying to prepare yourself for the trip.
I listened to Slovakian music for about 2 weeks.
And little did you know you were going to be listening to all the music that you already listened to.
I'm like, I listen to Slovak music, and I'm thinking to myself, well, this is what I'm going to be hearing, and I'm trying to get the vibe and everything. And I'm like, by the time I got there, in the first place that I heard American music, I'm like, I guess I must have learned how to speak Slovakian as well.
That's funny. Do you remember what song you heard? What was the first song you heard when you landed?
What was the first song I heard? It was a Whitney Houston song.
Of course
it was a Whitney Houston song. I know they was Dance with Somebody. I think it was Dance with Somebody.
Oh, that's your favorite Whitney song.
I know. That's why I was funny. Like, I knew I was in the right place. The adoption of American music is alive and well. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just in Slovakia too. I found it in Vienna. I found it also in Paris as well, so in France. I just think that American music, as you travel more, you'll understand, is somewhat ubiquitous, because even when I was in South Africa, there was plenty of American music playing in clubs, playing in different restaurants and things like that. So I think because, again, this is not I haven't done any research on this, but I think because we have turned out so much music over the years, and really, really cranked it out. And I think it's similar in the movie business as well.
Right.
Because there were lots of signs and things for American movies, even though that they were subtitled.
Even in the Philippines, when I go, the only music that plays and the only music that Filipinos love to sing to is American music. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's so influential, and it's really like a universal thing for every country to adopt American music.
One of the interesting points about that, it's not just the adoption of the music. I think it's also from a marketing and advertising standpoint.
I was just about to get to that. Yeah. The marketing.
I think it's really, I don't know that has been done accidentally. Okay, because if you realize that one of the places that people travel to the most from other places is the United States, or at least it used to be that way anyway. And that's because of them being indoctrinated through movies and also through music of the culture. Because I remember talking to people who had come here and it was their first time here, and like, oh wow, I didn't know that there were really lemonade stands in that little kids actually did. I saw that in a movie, and I didn't know that they actually did that in the United States, because they don't do that where I come from.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like I said earlier, it's not about it being accidental. It's marketing. I mean, look what Thailand did back in, 2003, where they started making an effort globally to open up Thai restaurants all over the world, but specifically in the United States. And they did that intentionally to indoctrinate people more into the Thai culture and into the Thai food. Well, that increased from 2003 to 2011 their tourism, which was the intent.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's this kind of the same thing, not kind of the same thing, it is the same thing, that we are using that universality of music to also bring people together.
Oh, for sure.
And together, which is economically helpful, but also together, I think it bridges gaps, because, even people that I had an opportunity to interact with, I was at a gathering, and all the people there spoke Slovak.
Yeah.
But when a guitar came out,
everyone spoke the same language.
Spoke the same language, and that was it was really cool. It was really cool.
That's
so I
awesome.
think that is, and not to say, I don't want to slight it either, because I did listen to quite a bit of Slovak music before I left on Spotify. Their music is actually quite good. It's actually quite good. So it's not like they don't have talent, and it's not like it's just a different vibe, it's a different feel.
Of course,
and it's actually got more of a younger feel to it than the stuff that that they were playing, all this 80s type music, but it's the universality of music. So I think that's an important piece.
There's so many amazing artists out there that I could name from the top of my head, and I'm like, they should be bigger than they are, and it's so frustrating, because it's like the world is missing out on all of this talent.
Well, it's interesting because the idea, because and you have to think of this, especially because I've been in business for so long, that people will say, well, wow, you're doing well, or that's really, that business looks great, and wow, how did you do this, how did you do that? And they look at it as if it's an overnight success. Well, yeah, it was a 35-year overnight success.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's the thing they don't understand. Nobody sees what brings someone to where they are, unless, of course, the story is told, which is part of why Vic's House of Rock is, out there, because we want to tell people's story and let them tell their stories and their journeys throughout music, and because it is music, and it's the music business, and that is the other piece of what, again, people who are consuming the music aren't looking at the business part of the music.
Right.
Okay. They are coming to see a band play in a club or whatever it might be, but they're not staying afterwards to watch the chords be rolled up, to watch the amps be broken down, to watch the stuff be hauled into the truck and schlep that stuff back to where it goes.
I'm only small. I can't.
They're not staying for that part of the, and there have been many a song like The Loadout by Jackson Browne that talk about this part of the music business, and that's just the performing part. Let's forget about
that's not even all the blood, sweat, and
all
tears.
of the stuff that goes into it, and the contracts and the traveling and all the other things that go into it. So, which is true of any business.
Of course.
When you consume an entertainment business, I think that we as the consumers don't look at, nor do I'm sure that we don't really care either. We're looking at the end product. I mean, I'm being straight up. I think we're looking at the end product. We're not watching an incredible movie by Quentin Tarantino and saying, I'm wondering how we got that money to make that shot. I don't think that that's what's crossing our minds.
Yeah.
So it's about being lost and absorbed into the art. And the other pieces are what they are, but you're experiencing the final product.
For sure. And I think there's just so much about the music industry that I don't know. I mean, I'm still relatively young, but I feel like in most aspects of the music industry, I'm falling so far behind, because there's just so many things I don't know. And it can be very intimidating, very, very intimidating. But knowing that I have a team to, help guide me it is comforting. It definitely is comforting. And just trying to put myself out there more and collaborate with all the right folks and collaborate with people I could actually learn from. It makes a huge difference.
And that's part of the journey.
Part of the journey.
That's part of the journey.
Is.
And also the other piece of journeys is that they happen differently for other people.
Right,
Each journey is different.
Yeah.
Some journeys are early. There are child actors that hit when they're 3.
Oh,
and then there's people who don't get their first movie until they're in their 50s.
Until they're 50. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it happens based upon many, many factors and trajectory and sticking to it and wanting to learn and all those other pieces. So I think one of the mistakes, I don't even want to use the word mistake. I'll say one of the
learning curves
is that one has to understand that your timetable is not necessarily someone else's timetable.
Right. Comparison really is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
I'm not here to compare myself to anyone.
No.
My focus is being surrounded by the right people. Our next topic is supposed to be Emerald, and I'm going to jump the gun and talk about Will, who we met.
Yes, through the whole Emerald, environment. I'll say universe.
Yes,
right?
through the Emerald Guitars Ambassador Program, and he is one of the kindest people you'll ever meet.
Oh,
so insanely talented. After we all met, he messaged me on the side wanting to write music for me, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Couldn't have come at a better time.
That's how things happen. That's how things
collaboration, and just being around like-minded people. It really does make a difference.
And the key piece of that too is being out there. Okay, you're not going to bump into somebody in your living room. Okay, unless it's the Uber guy or the the Uber Eats guy. So you have to get out there. You have to be in the mix. And it's a full contact sport.
He's talking to me.
No, I'm not. I'm talking to anybody who's having that thought process that they want to really move something forward. You have to go out there, and you got to be in the mix.
No,
and it's not always going to work.
Yeah.
And it's not always going to be what you want it to be. It's not always even going to be a good experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's part of being in the mix. And then you start to tease out the things you don't want, and you throw those away, and then you start to collect the things you do want. You're like, oh my God, I would have never done this but for.
Yes.
I would have never known this. Will's a prime example.
Yeah.
But for participating in the Emerald Ambassador Program, we would have never met Will. I would have never met Will. He would have never reached out to me. Well, he would have had no reason to reach out to me.
Right.
But he wanted to play an Emerald guitar. And as an ambassador, I had Emerald guitars for him to play. We met, and now we're forming a relationship and a partnership and friendship and everything else.
It's awesome. It really is so awesome how everything kind of just aligns itself. And another thing to mention about Emerald Guitars is they finally opened up a store here in America.
Emerald doesn't sell through stores. They don't sell through stores. What they did was, though, they opened up a distribution center, so now everything doesn't have to be shipped from Ireland.
Yes,
okay, and that makes the ability to have access, and of course it's going to lower costs.
August 16th, they were going to have a celebratory dinner in Florida for the ambassadors that are signed up. Alistair?
Yes, Alistair.
Yeah. He was inviting all of the ambassadors to come down to Florida to test out the newest guitars, have a dinner, and talk about music for the night. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so sad that we're missing this. But
when is this?
This is the 16th.
Okay, so what we need to do is we need to reach out to Alistair, and if you're listening, because we're going to send you a copy of this, by the way, my friend, we need to know exactly when the next one's going to be.
We'll plan another one.
Okay, when the next one's going to be, and as long as it's in the United States, we're good to go.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, yes, because I hate the fact that I'm missing that.
I know, I'm having FOMO.
Yes, you know what, also, last thing for you, Alistair, please, I hope you're recording the event itself, so we can see some of the things, because we definitely would want to comment on it on social media and love to see some of the new stuff that's coming out.
We have serious FOMO is what he's trying to say.
Yes, that's very true. I want to see the new guitars.
We just had our last Just Nichols gig at Bunny's in South Orange, and that was an interesting gig. Really fun, really fun.
That was a fun gig.
Yes, as always. It's never.
Haven't played there in a long time.
It's never not fun.
No, we haven't played there in a long time.
Yes.
And it was a great crowd. I actually had gotten some notes from some other people just recently. Who said, "Oh, when are you going to be playing Bunnies again?" And I said, "Well, we actually have another gig coming up."
Yes, don't miss it. If you miss the one in July, come to the one in October. You have a lot of time.
Date on that, I forgot.
October 10th.
October 10th.
October 10th. That's a Friday. It's not a Saturday. It's a Friday from same time, 9 to 12 in South Orange.
We'll be putting up promotion about it as well.
Absolutely.
But mark it on your calendar if you're getting this early.
Yes.
Mark it on your calendar. It's Bunnies in South Orange, right on South Orange Avenue. Awesome pizza.
Oh my God, their pizza is to
awesome
die
pizza.
for.
And you're going to definitely, and we'll have fun. But that's going to be another Just Nichols.
Acoustic band. Singing in Vic's bands, the acoustic and big band, I've learned so much in the 2 years of being a part of their band. I did not realize how tiresome it is to sing the same song over and over again. I did not realize.
And there you have it.
And so I think to myself after every gig, I'm like, wow. So if I start to do this by myself, I have to sing the same songs over and over again. I would be sick of my songs. I'd be sick of my songs.
It gives you a taste if you think some of the most iconic songs that people of the era, any era that you can think of.
Yeah.
Okay, and any kind of music you might be into.
Yes.
And they've got a hit song, and every time they do a concert, they have to play that hit song.
Yeah. Whitney and I Want to Dance with Somebody. I'm sure she was sick of that song.
I'm sure Billy Joel wouldn't want to play the Piano Man again if you gave him all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, because these are songs that people expect you to play.
Yes.
And you got it. I don't care how good it is. At some point, you're like, okay, I'm tired of this. Now, the beautiful thing about playing in our format is because we're playing other people's stuff.
Yes.
So we're doing cover. We're a cover band at this point. We were original band in our early years, but we're a cover band now. So we can switch it up because people aren't expecting us. Certainly, there are some songs that we played over the years that people are like, hey, you guys gotta play that song. That's your song. Sure, no problem. But we can kind of change it up and keep it interesting and keep it fun. So yeah, we have been adding some new things.
We've been adding
to the sets,
newer
which is fun.
Music. Yeah.
Even if it's older music, it's new to us.
Yeah. Yeah. And just singing with you guys is always so much fun. I learned so much about being a part of a band and just learning togetherness, because it's really huge and really important.
It is important.
You know?
And I gotta be honest with you, I think probably for me, the most fun about playing in the band is the people that I play with and the rehearsals.
Yes.
The rehearsals, in many ways, are a lot more fun than the actual gigs themselves.
Yeah, rehearsals are so much fun.
Yeah, because you also get a chance to talk to each other. You get a chance to find out what everybody's up to, which you might not have had this opportunity. But they're also fun, and you have a drink or two. You loosen up. You talk about stuff, and then you try stuff you haven't tried before, whatever it is. But when you're playing a gig, you're playing a gig.
Yeah.
And even though you have this opportunity to be relaxed, because we have been doing it for a billion years, you still are performing. And you have to deliver a performance, because that's the responsibility of every entertainer. Period. Musician or otherwise.
I think that's the thing. Because you guys don't do it for a living, you guys do it primarily for fun.
We do.
But you guys also understand that you're here to put on a show.
Yeah, we're being paid whatever it is.
Exactly.
We're being paid to deliver a show.
So there's the professionalism.
And you have to and you can't lose that mindset, because people who come to see you are expecting you to deliver a show.
Absolutely.
Some nights are going to be better than others. But I mean, that's true for the professionals. I mean, I've gone to concerts and seen pros, and I'm like, ooh, what the hell was that?
Oh no! We're not naming any names.
No, we're not naming any names. Some have been on tour lately, but they are, some of them.
That's a hint.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Some of these older bands and stuff like that where they, they need to stop because they're not delivering what the audiences are looking for. And you can find that all over YouTube. But that's okay because they're out there doing what it is that they're doing, but they have a responsibility when people are paying to deliver a show, you know.
I was just watching, the Jonas Brothers are on tour right now. They just put on a show last weekend. Someone asked him, what do you love most about performing? And he's like, you know, even when you're not feeling, even when I'm not feeling my best, this is Joe speaking, it's just the idea that people pay to see you.
Sure.
And you just want to give them the best show you can possibly give them.
Because I think there's an expectation.
Yeah.
There's an expectation. And how bad does you felt when you let your mom down or you let your dad down or whatever. It's the same thing. You feel like you're letting someone down if you're not giving them at least the best performance you can give at that time.
Yeah.
Because we're all humans. We're all human beings. We're going to have good nights. We're going to have bad nights. We're going to be in the zone. There's nights where you can't play a wrong note, and there's nights where you should put the thing down and go home because you can't play a right note. But those are far and few, both. You know, they're very much extremes. But you got to do the best performance you can do.
For sure.
That you're capable at that time. That's all.
And I think the thing that struck me the most was when he talked about singing their music. I mean, I can't relate to this because I haven't written my own music, but he said yet, ooh, things are cooking. But Joe mentioned we could sing a song and it could take someone back to a memory of their mom, of their dad, of their of their loved one. Being able to bring the audience to a core memory just by singing a specific song and just pulling them out of their reality for just a second, like it means the world. And that's something I always lived by. If I can just make a difference for an hour or two or three, I've done my job. Like I did it, you know, and I could go to sleep happy. And that's really the takeaway from all of this, and why musicians do what they do, why artists do what they do. I was just going to say,
isn't that where art begins and ends?
Yeah.
Right? All kinds of art, you know, whether it be fine art, performing art, you know, the spoken word, whatever it is, you know, is all about that A, escape, B, that connection. And that's that's why I'm still interested in doing it.
I know,
having done
even
it for
after
this
all
long.
these years.
And I still get excited about it. I still want to do it. It's still fun. It's still to talk to friends and see people and, you know, and then bring people up to sing with us. And I mean, there's all of that. It's all of that.
I remember in an interview that we did a while back, you mentioned one of your first, like, biggest clients came from a gig.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So it was Lucent Technologies.
You never know, and that's all the more reason to do it. I mean, you never know who you're gonna meet. That's crazy. That is really crazy.
But you can meet somebody in a grocery store. You can meet but when you are out there and you're doing your thing, and people actually show up to see you, and even people who come in who've never seen you before, as long as you make yourself accessible and understand that they're the ones that you're performing for, not the other way around. Okay? And that you need to be open, gracious, talk, and learn about what's going on around you and what brought them there and things like that. And to be genuine about it. I'm not saying to act like you're interested. I mean, be interested in the people who come to see you, because without them, you're going to be standing in an empty bar with nobody to watch you.
That's very true. Like you're nothing without them, really.
You need them, you know.
When I first started singing with you guys said that Big Band's gig back in March of 2023 or 24 was going to be the last gig.
Yeah, we did say that.
So we are 3 last gigs in.
I know, I feel like we're the Eagles, you know, the Hell Freezes Over tour. You know, we're not playing again. And now we're going to be playing 14 cities now. You know.
Is Big Band making a comeback next year?
Because of what has transpired thus far, I'm going to say I don't know.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
because we haven't booked anything as of yet.
usually we book
Yeah,
very, very
but
early.
To be honest with you, we'll probably do another gig. We probably will.
Not surprised.
Sal and Dominic and and Russ and the whole band and Craig and Mayor. We do love playing.
I know.
We really do.
I know you guys do.
The larger format is more work. It's more physical work. It's more rehearsal work. It's just a lot more work. However, it's worth it. So I will not say no. At least from where I sit. Obviously, there are other people in the band who would have to weigh in on that, but I think that we probably will do at least one or two more.
I would hope so, because the only time I get to play is with them.
Well, that's going to change.
Yes, and can I just, to that point, I have been spending the last 2-3 weeks looking for an accompanist, and let me tell you, it has been quite a challenge. I am so envious of what you have, because you've built like such a tight-knit band.
I didn't build it. I didn't build it. I can't take responsibility for that.
Okay, fine. So you didn't build it?
I did not. But we are fortunate to have that kind of a band.
Yeah,
because
you guys are like family.
Everybody has a function in the band, and without those people performing the functions that they perform, and I'm not just talking about playing their instrument, the band would be a different experience.
Right.
So everybody's got an integral role.
Yeah. And I'm over here just trying to find one. And I'm struggling badly.
Well, because you just started, it's back to how this conversation started,
Yes.
You really haven't put in the time yet.
I haven't, and I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm ready to put in the work. I've got a long journey ahead of me, but I'm excited.
Yeah, and I think that's inspirational for anybody who is watching this, who's in that same position, because we all go through similar things throughout our lives and our careers. So somebody's in the same spot you're in right now.
Yeah, who knows where any of this is going to take me?
Sure.
No one knows.
Nobody knows.
But I the fact of the matter is, like, I'd rather go big and give it my all, because I do love it. And I've been having the hardest time just trying to figure out where I see myself. But with your help and with Tim's help, oh my goodness, Tim has been such an amazing person and mentor, and I cannot thank him enough for his guidance, keeping certain things in mind. Dream big, but also be realistic. Yep. Like there's got to be a balance between the two.
Dreaming is fantastic.
Right.
Implementation
is another thing. It's another ballpark.
That is where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
You have to be able to implement.
I don't see myself singing at MSG. I mean, as fantastic as that sounds, and being able to sing in front of all those people, great. But I don't see that for me. At least not yet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say not yet.
At least not yet.
I mean, you don't see that when you first start doing it. I mean, when we were playing in Tom Wagner's living room, the same 3 songs over and over again.
That's so
because
funny.
they're the only 3 songs we knew.
I couldn't believe that was real.
I know, that was real. And there people are sitting there watching us play the same 3 freaking songs all over again. And we were like rock and roll stars. We're like, yeah.
How much time did you put in between?
Not enough. And I'm like, and I bet you don't know what's coming next. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, we played the same things over and over again. Now, at that particular situation and at that particular point in time, did we think that we would actually, almost 40 years later, over 40 years later, be playing in a band, almost primarily the same band, and being able to have had all of those stories and all that fun.
Yeah, you guys played at the Stone Pony.
Oh yeah, we played everywhere.
Crazy.
We played everywhere.
Awesome.
Royal Meadow North, Hitsville, Dirt Club, you name it, we played it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And those were unforgettable times, and they shaped who we are today, because they were a part of our entire lives, our professional lives, our home lives, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But without that piece, none of us would be the people we are today.
For sure. I wouldn't change a thing.
No, I know I wouldn't. I absolutely wouldn't. And your journey is starting.
Yeah.
Your journey's starting.
It's so weird though, because you have this vision in your head as a kid. I would think I'd have it all together by now, and I'm nowhere near having it all together. And I mean, I'm not as worried as I used to be.
Good.
I think a lot of it has to do with my support system. Really.
It has to do with support. It also has to do with something you haven't paid attention to, and you will soon, is chronology. As you get older, your thoughts change.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and you get a little bit more adaptive, and you get a little bit more understanding of where you're going, and the fact there are. You calm down a little bit more.
For sure.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not crashing out every 5 minutes.
And it makes clarity of thought a whole lot easier, and that moves you along faster.
Yeah.
Because you have experience and clarity of thought.
Yes.
So those are some of the things that if anybody's watching who may be in those situations, they have to start adopting that and understanding that youth is you think differently at different stages of your life. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I remember one of the first things you told me. I was losing my mind over something so minute, and you said you have all of this pent-up energy, you have all of this anger, use it to find solutions. That stuck with me. You want to be as productive as possible and be as intentional as possible, and I think that's something that I've been trying to put in practice a lot more lately.
Sure.
Just being really intentional with everything, you know, even with my feelings, my thoughts,
Sure.
like how is this going to benefit me?
And the people around me, and and I know you that was inclusive in that, because nobody does this stuff by themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody, you have your friends and the people that you spend time with and talk with on the phone and all of the other pieces that you have in your life. They're all part of this. They're all part of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, if there's anything to take from this, it's don't crash out. Figure it out.
Yeah. Amen. And there's plenty of people out there who will be happy to have the conversations with you too, because yes, you do everybody runs into these, I'll say spikes.
For sure.
That you're running over and all your tires are flat and you're like, okay, now what the hell am I going to do?
It's crazy. And oh my God. And I can relate to that. I mean, 3 years ago, I didn't think I would make it out. And here I am. I'm like, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. All I had to do was push through.
Yeah. And that's
the only way out is through.
And then when you do that, you also can look back and say, okay, not only did this work for me, but I can also share that with other folks who might be going through that at any particular point in time. So it's all, that's all part of it. But all of what we've been talking about relates, full circle back to the idea of being an artist, music, how you get involved in music, why music's important. I was talking to a gentleman who was at my house the other day, talking to me about solar panels. And he said to me after he was done with this thing, he was leaving, he was walking out, and he noticed that I had a couple of guitars in my house. And he says, I wanted to play guitar. He goes, but I never really got it. I always wanted to do it. And I looked at him and I said, how old are you? And he told me how old he was. And I said, bro, it is so not late for you to start playing guitar. And he looked at me, he goes, why didn't anybody ever tell me that?
Wow. You would think.
Yeah, he goes, you're right. I'm like, you can start playing guitar at 80. Okay.
Unless you've got crippling arthritis.
Well, right, of course, unless you physically can't do it.
Right.
But I mean, this guy was in his 30s. So
are you kidding me?
Yeah, and he's like, you're right. I said, so start playing guitar again. Or pick it up and start to play.
I think a lot of it, and I can relate to this because I have severe ADHD and I'm also very impatient.
A lot of people.
When I don't get something right away, I put it down. I forget about it, and I don't pick it up again until months later or years later. I'm like, ooh, let me give this another shot. And that's where the problem really lies. If you don't stay the course, you're never gonna get it. And it's really crazy because I do that too.
Well,
I've done that for many things.
It's so funny you say that. I'm going to tell you exactly how euphoric you're going to be when people hit those milestones. Okay, so I'm going to give you a perfect example. So I'm in my basement. I've been playing guitar for a little bit. And give you an idea, Pat Benatar's Hit Me With Your Best Shot had come out. It was out for about 6 months at the time. And I'm listening to this thing on, I think it was still a record player. I was listening to it in the basement, and I'm like, I just loved hearing the lead in that and the way the song went. And I picked up my little guitar, and I'm tooling around like I had been doing for months and months and months.
Oh my gosh.
Now, that session was a breakthrough moment because everybody reaches a plateau in everything, not just music. Mm-hmm. And I looked at my guitar and I'm like, oh my God, this actually makes sense.
Wow. Yeah.
And I started playing along with the song.
And
I'm like, oh my God, holy shit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And I had worked, and it sounded like crap. And finally, I hit on this thing because I had reached this plateau. Well, I would have never reached the plateau unless I did all of that playing before. Mm-hmm. That's the key. Mm-hmm. You can't, when you do stop, I will guarantee you won't get to where you want to go. Mm-hmm. If you continue to do it, and you're going to get frustrated. You put it down for a while. We're all human beings. Mm-hmm. That's, I'm not saying that we're superhuman.
Yeah.
However, it was the most exciting feeling I think I'd ever felt.
I love that.
In music, when I was like, oh my God, this makes sense to me now.
So you want to know how I know I love to sing? Because that's the only thing I would do that for. I have done so many things in my life so far. I've tried so many things, and I put them down. I put majority of them down. But when it comes to singing, let's say just recently, the song My Days from The Notebook. Mm-hmm. Very challenging theater song. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get it down because it was so high and the technique is so challenging, and I'm out of practice. Unless I'm practicing every day, I'm very out of practice. I mean, I go from going to school to not exercising my vocal cords every day. I kept at it until I finally got it. And I'm like, oh, so that's how you do it?
There it is.
And that feeling that you get when you finally get the results that you want, oh my God, it's the best feeling in the world. It's like all of that hard work, that was so worth it. And I'll do it over again.
And you wouldn't have that if you didn't do that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what that feels like. You wouldn't know what that actually feels like.
Yeah, and so that's the only time I get that feeling when it comes to singing. Yeah. I've tried to do it with piano, right? Mm-hmm. Like sometimes I'll sing a chorus with playing the piano, and I'll learn it, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I don't get that same satisfaction as when I sing.
And probably the passion.
It's the passion, yeah, and it's
an
nice
interesting
to realize.
It's actually an interesting juxtaposition because the playing of guitar is really where the passion for me is. Mm-hmm. The singing was and probably still is more of a chore because I don't have a passion for singing. Never did.
Got it.
But when we were doing our original stuff and Russell and I were writing a lot of music and things like that, it was just easier for me to sing the songs that I wrote.
Right.
Because it was just, instead of teaching them to somebody else, so I just sang them.
Fair enough.
But it wasn't because I wanted to sing them. And then as you progress, I'm like, wait a minute. The singing thing, I don't mind doing it every now and then. But I'm not,
You're not crazy about it.
I'm not crazy about it. And I never was. And I never was. And I don't have a passion for it.
Yeah.
I never had a passion for it.
Yeah. You kind of just know. You know.
I never had a passion for it.
But it's just so interesting how you realize what you like and the things that you don't like, and you really just have to try it all out.
Yeah. That's probably the best piece of advice you could give.
Yeah, you just gotta
try it out.
And I mean, you're gonna suck. More than likely you're gonna suck.
You run into some people who are nature.
How'd you get that the first try?
Right.
What the heck?
But that's a gift, and that's a totally different thing.
Right. But more than likely, you're going to suck, and that's okay. I mean,
But it brings up the fact of the matter is that there are hundreds of millions of people who have gone through their entire lives and they've never found the thing they're actually good at.
Oh my God, that's so heartbreaking. Like I could cry thinking about that right now.
Because in many cases, people are good at many things. Okay?
Yeah.
They're not just good at one thing. But they go through their whole, and they never find that one thing
that sets their soul on fire,
or that they just were given the gift for, but it never was put together. I mean, it could be some kid who's living, on another side of the world who has no, in poverty and whatever, and that could have been the greatest violin player that ever lived, but they didn't have an opportunity to have that or know that. So it's those types of things. That's why trying, when you are in a position where you can try different things, that's the gift.
Yeah, and I'm
try
so
different
lucky
things
too.
and you find out where you're, what it is that works and what it is that doesn't, and keep moving.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can really do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we hit everything, but we got to make sure that we want to come back to the fact there's two things I want to make sure that people know is that Emerald Guitars is not a sponsor of our, they don't,
no, this is not sponsored by Emerald.
This is not sponsored by Emerald or anything like that.
No.
I play them.
Yes.
I bought them and I love them. Okay.
Yes, if you are in the New Jersey area and you're interested in trying out an Emerald guitar and you're on the fence of buying it, but and you still haven't had the chance to play it, please
reach
give
out.
us a message. Vic
and
is.
We'll meet up. I'll show you. I'll bring the guitars and you can check them out just like we did with Will. And you can this way you can play it without having to make an investment in having a guitar shipped to you. Find out you may not like it,
you get to try before you buy.
Exactly. And that's, I think, is so important. I actually purchased mine as a result of seeing a video on YouTube.
You took a chance.
Yeah, that somebody mentioned it and they said, "Oh, this is a wonderful guitar," and they held it up, and I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's great." Good
thing they were right.
I'm like, everybody's guitar is a wonderful guitar. You know what I mean? That's subjective. But I'm like, you know what? This carbon fiber thing, I'm going to give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Granted, I knew I could send it back, but buying it from Ireland and then having to pay import taxes and then having to ship it, I was like, okay, I'm giving it a whirl. And I did it and I fell in love with it. And of course I ended up.
And you got another one.
I ended up buying it.
And you got another one.
So that's why I'm interested in seeing some of the new innovations they're coming out with. But I wanted to mention that because I didn't want people to think that this is sponsored.
Not sponsored at all.
This is just genuine passion for a wonderful instrument. That's all.
Absolutely. And the second thing?
The second thing is our gig.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Our Just Nichols gig is Friday, October 10th from 9 to 12.
And that's at Bunny's in South Orange on South Orange Avenue.
Yes. And with that, we say thank you for watching.
It's a wrap
for
number 2 Vic's House of Rock.
Bye, guys.